Antoine Griezmann is a French footballing legend. He's one of the most talented and popular players of his generation. Sadly for Griezmann, his career went into a tailspin when he made his big move to Barcelona for 100 million euros at the age of 28. His time at Barcelona was not good at all, but it wasn't his fault because the club was in a bad place and they had no real plan what to do with Griezmann. This story is similar to Eden Hazard moving to Real Madrid for similar amount of money at the similar amount of age, and he flopped even harder at Madrid. But unlike Eden Hazard, Griezmann is showing that he is of a different class to Hazard because he has returned to his old club Athletico Madrid, that club that made him a superstar, and Griezmann is not only returning to good form, he's been one of the best players in the whole of 2023. Here's a look at how Griezmann failed his career and then redeemed it and proved all his doubters wrong. Antoine Griezmann first made his name breaking into the Real Sociedad team as an 18-year-old, and from that young age he was constantly playing more than 35 games a season, and this is what built his amazing stamina and fitness, to which he still has to this day. Many clubs wanted to sign him as he built his name across Europe, but it was Athletico Madrid that pulled the trigger and signed the 22-year-old. Griezmann was an instant hit for Athletico Madrid, and the manager Diego Simeone knew how to get the best out of him. He represented what was good about Athletico Madrid teams. He was a brilliant technical player and he worked hard off the ball. He defended really well, and you couldn't be a Simeone player at that time if you didn't work hard off the ball. In 5 successful seasons at Atletico, Griezmann scored 133 goals in 257 appearances. He was consistently selected in La Liga Team of the Year, which around the same time was when Messi and Ronaldo were ruling La Liga and were at their absolute peaks in Spain. Griezmann was the star player that took Atletico Madrid to the Champions League final in 2016. However, he unfortunately did miss a penalty in that match. That same year, he led France to the Euro 2016 final, where unfortunately again they lost to Portugal. But Griezmann did win player of that tournament. Griezmann deservedly finished third in Ballon d'Or that year, behind Ronaldo and Messi. But it could have been different had he won those 2 finals. He would have won Ballon d'Or. So after 2 more successful years, Griezmann signs for Barcelona for £100 million, and this is where the downfall starts. Now this truly is one of the worst transfer moves of all time. Not because of Griezmann's fault, but it was Barcelona's fault. The club was in disarray. The club was burning down around Lionel Messi, and they were making desperate decisions and terrible signings to maintain their dominance. The club was being run to the ground by their directors, owners and their scouts through poor recruitment. They had just wasted over 300 million euros on Coutinho and Dembele, so after that they decided Griezmann would be the next one up to save them. But it didn't work out. And what made this such a bad signing was that Griezmann's best position was also Lionel Messi's best position. So of course the 2 players are going to have a hard time playing together. Griezmann didn't have the freedom to play like he did at Atletico Madrid. They wanted him to dribble more with the ball. When the ball was given to him, be a winger and attack. But Griezmann wanted to be the creative force, the false 9 that connects the play between midfield and attack. But of course he couldn't do that because that was Lionel Messi's job, and Griezmann was never going to dethrone the greatest player of all time. So that was his first season at Barca. It just didn't work out. The second season at Barca wasn't any better, and this is where most people thought Griezmann is done as a footballer. His best years were behind him. He had his moment, he made his money, and now he'll probably become a journeyman. But he returned to his old club, Athletico Madrid, initially on a loan. When the signing was announced, there wasn't much fanfare as they also thought Griezmann was a finished player. His first few months with Atletico were riddled with injuries and he was struggling to find his place in the attack. But his redemption would first come through the 2022 World Cup with France. Griezmann had always shown up for France. He always played with his nation with passion. So him and Mbappe together dragged France to the final with brilliant performances. Griezmann developed a deeper role in midfield and he thrived as a creator of the team. He got 3 assists in the World Cup and he created 22 chances in the 7 games they played in. This rich vein in form captured from France carried on to Atletico Madrid that season, and he finished the season with 15 goals and 16 assists, and that was the highest assist total in the whole league. He also led the league in key passes made with 84. He led the league with the most shot creation chances with 162, and he led the league in most goal creating chances with 26. Griezmann had earned the love of Atletico Madrid fans again by making himself the main creator of the team. So now we enter the current 2023-24 season, and Griezmann has surprisingly upped his levels. He's not maintained his levels, he's upped it. And most fans in Spain regard him as the best player in the league. Now that Ronaldo and Messi's gone, even though Griezmann's 32, he's now still the best player in the league. So far this season, he's already got 16 goals in 23 games with 2 assists. Atletico are 3rd in the league and they are through to the Champions League knockout competitions. Griezmann now officially has overall 180 goals for Atletico Madrid, and that makes him the highest goal scorer in Atletico's whole history, and this solidifies his place as an Atletico Madrid legend. The fans now sing and chant his name, which is a lot different to the ones that were calling him a traitor and a rat for leaving them and then returning when things didn't work out. But through grit, hard work, consistency and pure talent, Griezmann has proved that form is temporary. Tough times will come, but class is permanent, and he is an Atletico Madrid legend and a footballing icon. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the content.